what is happening, lovely peoples? Welcome to Casters on the Block, where there is only two casters on the block this week. You heard it here. Two casters on the block.
Oh my god. What is up, everyone? My name is The Waffle Man. We were introduced by Syndicate Snivy, and the way I want to open up this podcast is talking about how I've had the song My Shiny Teeth in Me stuck in my head all week because I saw it on Twitter. That song is actually fire.
It is.
And it's too good, and now it's stuck in my head because I saw it on Twitter, and I was like, I'm gonna bop this. So I bopped it for like 20 minutes maybe, and now I know every word.
Shiny teeth that sparkles just like the
Yeah, but that's my vibe going into this week. How are you doing, Snivers?
I'm not gonna lie, I am very tired.
Very tired. I woke up at 11 today, and to a gigantic paragraph of things my mom wanted me to do, and I'm like, I have to podcast today.
I'm so sorry. Well,
it's okay.
And then we wanted this to be the meter management episode.
Yeah.
But it seems like this is becoming a common trend of we can't do X episode this week, so we'll wait till the next week. I think that happened with CT GamingCon or like another event.
Oh, we're gonna talk about meter management just a little bit.
All right. I was gonna say that I've been like running around like crazy with commentary as of late. Like ever since Encore 200, it was just back-to-back casting. It was like some Street Fighter tournament in Jersey, a Connecticut tournament in Stanford, at the Noodle Shop.
The Noodle Shop.
Mecha Noodle. Very
Mecca.
great place,
Isn't
by the way.
It's Mecca.
It's Mecha. I also said Mecca.
It's
Mecha.
Did they call it Mecha?
Yeah.
The people who own the store?
Yes.
They called it Mecha. I think that's wrong.
Is it wrong?
I'm pretty sure that's wrong. I mean, it's a chain. It's a chain, and everyone I know calls it Mecca. So unless everybody who I know is wrong, I don't know. That's crazy. I need to.
Well, the thing is, it says Mecha. It says on their website. It says Mecha means mom and pop and Vietnamese.
What?
So it's a Vietnamese thing.
Interesting. That is interesting. Well, I guess I'll like look up the pronunciation on like YouTube or something. That's crazy. So how was the noodle tournament? Because that tournament popped up out of nowhere, and like nobody knew about it until like weeks before.
It was so funny. I just got an email from like my boy who was like, "Oh yeah, you want to do this tournament with me at like Michino?" I'm like, "Oh shoot, okay." It's like they're paying me how much, and they're giving me free food. I'm like, this is a caster's like big dream come true, because usually we go not paid at all, or just like $15 or like $25, and like we'll get water, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
that water though.
I got so much more.
That water.
Gotta get that water. Can't forget that water. But it was a really great tournament. The spot was really good. It was a very busy place. I wasn't aware that Stanford was like this huge like kind of party have like a block kind of dealio. They have like farmer markets and like arts fairs on the weekends apparently.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it was popping when I went. So had a bit of tough time with the traffic. But the tournament itself actually ran pretty great. They reached out to the 12G team, who ran the bracket and brought the setups. And it ran smoothly, actually. You would think that there would be a few hiccups, though. No. It ran perfectly.
Nice.
The stream ran perfectly. They had replays, too, which we talked about it.
Whoa.
And now, it was funny because...
That's actually sick. I didn't know that.
It was kind of like a shooting the shit dealio, but I was giving it, like, the best, like, professional treatment that I can. It was like hosting and like doing a Smash tournament at like the same time, and they also did interviews, which I hope they go up so I can kind of yoink some of that footage, because we interviewed one of the local goers. We interviewed Tom, and the Ling one was kind of scuffed since we didn't have a third headset, and he kept on not talking into the mic, and we kept on pushing the mic up towards him, and like, Ling, bro,
yeah,
I should have just been like, hey, Ling, my friend, can you just put the mic up to your mouth like this?
Yeah. Don't get
And well,
scuffed.
Ling won it. Obviously, it was a Tony Pajamas
GG's.
and Ling grand finals.
Mm-hmm. A
And
classic.
the food itself was immaculate. If you ever are in Stamford, Connecticut, or like any Betcha ramen place around you, please go. Their food is absolutely insane. This
I've
is
heard
not
good
a
things.
this is not a shill. This is I'm low key shilling, but like that was really good. I had pho, and that was so good. I had the flank steak one with the short rib. Oh my god, it was so tender. That meat was so tender.
I love. Don't you just love that?
I do.
So yeah, I was really surprised because this tournament popped up and like there just like wasn't a Start GG link at first. It was like, what is
It was
this
on like the
tournament?
Facebook, right?
Yeah, it was on
Or,
like Facebook or something, and then eventually they got to Start GG. So hopefully, like, whoever runs that tournament next time, like, talks to like TOs, like gets like, acquainted with the TOs, like New England TOs, because they did book over meter management, but I don't think they did that on purpose. But I don't think like if
this
they
was
had
definitely not on purpose.
yeah, if they had known that tournament was going on, or if they had like worked with other New England TOs, they wouldn't want to step
Mm-hmm.
over them. So I hopefully like we see more community involvement from them. Hopefully this wasn't a one time thing and then they just disappear.
I think they were interested. Well, they did say they were interested in like running more Smash brackets or like even hell a Mario Kart tournament perhaps.
Ooh, Mario
You
Kart
know,
is sick.
drinking and driving kind of Mario type dealio.
Yes, sir.
That sounds awesome.
That's
Like
the
to host
only
an
way
event
to.
like that.
That's the only way to legally drink and drive.
True. So true.
Yeah. Have you heard of Burial Kart?
Burial Kart? I've not.
Burial Kart. So it's a thing that like is in most like college campuses, but like was popularized by Mango on his stream. Um, and like Ludwig like had a tournament for it too. It's basically where you have to like down a full beer before you finish the race, but
Hmm.
you can't drink and drive, so you have to be at a complete stop when you're chugging.
Oh,
It's like really cool. So
that's fire.
if they did run a Mario Kart tournament, I would hope it's like Mario Kart, since I don't know, like they have alcohol there. I guess
I think that would be mad fun.
that would be sick.
You know, it's funny that you say that because we're seeing more tournaments like locally in tri-state, like run at bars. Like
Yeah,
a few of them. There's a few melee tournaments that run
there's
at
a
bars.
lot of melee tournaments that run at bars.
Mm-hmm.
The same weekend in Stanford, on Sundays, there was a tournament called Melee at Towns Parlor, which was like a bar, but then they moved to like a pizza spot because the bar was like, we're done with you guys. But
Damn.
yeah, like I see a lot of those turn up, and I'm like not like a huge fan of those because I don't drink, and I also like I think it's just harder. It just makes it accessibly harder for like underage people to get into those tournaments or into those scenes. So I just don't like it for that reason, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like, while I understand, it's just that, they're appealing to the older demographic that has been in Smash for a very long
Yeah.
time. They just want like chill, like just grab a drink or
I
something
think
kind
it's
of dealio.
I think it's great for monthlies like that, like where it was on Sunday.
Mhm.
Like it happens once a month. I think it's great for
Yeah.
those. I like how nightclub is like a weekly tournament and it's at a bar. Less of a fan of that, because it's like,
I
what
mean,
if
Brooklyn has a bar, and there's kids that go as well, quote unquote kids. They're teenagers,
Nah.
but they still kind of have that dealio rolling at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe I'm making a big deal. Mountain out of molehills.
Yeah, I mean, like, I see what you're saying, but like, there's a lot of locals in these
Yeah.
areas. I don't know about CT. CT only got Norwalk and or
Norwalk.
Reboot, and then
We
Hog.
have Hog, and we have Gamers Guild, and we have Eastside Games on the other side of the state, and we
all
got
the way over there.
Chubby Dog Smash, like all the way in the top right corner.
And then you have that new college tournament. I don't know if you mentioned that.
It's a Central Connecticut tournament or something. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the one
I
that I think G Extreme helps TO.
Oh no, they have the post esports one.
Yes.
Yes, those are on Sundays. That's weird. I don't like weekly tournaments on Sundays. I'm gonna be honest.
I was running a weekly term on Sunday, but I'm like, that's kind of not it.
Yeah,
I'm switching up to the Wednesdays.
I just don't know. But yeah, post university happened this weekend again. So that was cool. That's a new tournament that's happening on in Connecticut.
Yeah, there's this one I think melee tournament that happens in PA that runs at a brewing company, and I really want to try it out. I gotta remember the name. I gotta hit a multiple for it.
Yeah, for sure. So like I'm trying to think. So meter management happened this weekend. Let's get into the juicy content. All right.
Yeah. We ain't no tweak talks, but we ain't no lights out.
We
It's time
don't
to get, it's time to
we
get
don't have
political.
we don't have an identity.
We really don't. Ever since last episode, I'm just like, all right.
We're just four commentators.
Yes.
Yeah.
Four commentators. You throw each other into a podcast, and then we say some shit.
And we have Yin on sometimes. That's cool. And then we just argue about West Coast versus East Coast. Love that.
It's literally so funny how we just like switch up, and then we got hung up on that like the entire last episode.
I will continue to make fun of it, even though I don't give one single fuck.
I'm like,
literally do not care.
This was your truly true guest episode. You were supposed to fucking talk your shit, dog. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's the funnest thing to do ever because it literally doesn't matter to me at all. But just to see Yin get so mad and like upbeat about it, it's just the best thing ever.
It is great.
And Yin's probably watching. He's like he'll defend West Coast till he dies,
true.
Which is great, which is fine. But
we'll talk about West Coast a little later.
Yeah, we'll talk about the West Coast. But let's right now talk about the East Coast. One of the biggest tournaments on the East Coast that happened this weekend. Maybe the biggest meter management.
Yeah. Actually, I would not know since I'm fairly new to the New England CT scene.
Oh, okay. But yeah, Mars was there. That was cool. He kind of farmed. That's really all there was on that side. Oh, and it was also a New England Smash Invitational qualifier. If you were
God.
If you were watching, you probably barely knew that because they didn't mention it at all on the commentary. There was one moment where Gerd like came up to the desk and he was to the commentary setup and he was like, just wanted to give an update on New England Smash Invitational. And I legit, as somebody who cares about New England Smash Invitational a lot and like thinks it's like a really important big deal, as somebody who is that person, I forgot this was a New England Smash Invitational like qualifier, a Nessie qualifier, as I'm going to call it for. And I'm like really like I really think like that's like a big deal and like it's gonna be a great tournament. And I completely forgot, which is crazy to me. And like when he was like update on Nessie qualifications, I was like, wow, they have not mentioned this at all today. That is crazy. And I was watching like a good chunk. Like after I had like gone on my break, I had like basically only been watching the tournament because like it was pretty slow on the weekend, and they didn't mention it at all, and that just like infuriated me so much hearing that information. And then Ritual and Winters got on the mic and they mentioned it a little bit at the start, like who has the best like odds, like who's still in the running to get it. And then Bruja versus Just Blue happens, which is basically, in my mind, like Mars is probably going to win this tournament, let's be real. So, like, Grand Finals isn't going to be that hype, if I'm being honest. Like, I just think there's a pretty big gap between him and Naito Sharp. No disrespect to Naito Sharp. He's just not there yet. He's close. Like, he's the closest out of anybody, but he's just not there yet. Which just goes to show, like, how crazy it is that Mars is, like, full in on content, and he could still, like, show up to a tournament and just beat the best, like, one of the best active players in New England. That's just crazy to me. But yeah, so like knowing this information, knowing that Mars Netosharp probably isn't going to be the most exciting winners and grand finals ever, I feel like the Just Blue Brewhouse set should have been treated as grand finals because that was for a NESI qualification. Both of those players knew it. If you watch back the last stock, it was game 5, last stock, last hit. That is the most nervous I've ever seen two people play in my entire life. And the fact that that it wasn't mentioned once at all on the mic that these two players want it so bad. You could literally see it in their gameplay how bad they want it, and it's just not mentioned at all. And I'm at work, like literally like almost about to scream. I'm about to like make an embarrassment of myself because like they're just not talking about it, and I'm like, oh, talk about it. Look at how nervous they're playing. Neither of them approached for like 2 whole minutes, dude. 2 whole minutes on last talk, last hit. Come on! Oh, I was so
That's
mad.
a whole lot of minutes.
I was so mad. And like, it's funny that like this is the way my brain works, but I've never been more motivated to commentate and to go to my locals than right now, because I just want to do things that people didn't do at that tournament and prove to people that I can weave these narratives, because I am literally like I would never be in that position to commentate top 8. So I'm not saying like, oh, I'm mad I didn't go because I didn't get, because I would have commentated top 8 and I would have done it better. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there were people in top 8 who are great casters and who are talking about other things that they like talking about, mostly gameplay specific things. But I think the number one most important thing is to tell the viewers, why do I care about these two playing? Because to the viewer, if you just didn't happen to, catch the start of their block where they talked about the New England Smash Invitational, like who's in it. If you missed that, you do not know why these players are playing the most nervous they've ever played in their life. Like if you caught it like game 2 or like halfway through game 1, you have no idea. And that's just like such an integral part to commentary. You just have to make them care about it. And it's not like fake narrative. It's like real narrative. And like, I just like hate seeing like, cause like so much, and you know this, like you have to.
I know.
You have to like string fake narrative so much, right? Like it's just kind of like, oh, like it's like, oh, like let's say somebody has like a 1-5 record versus somebody, so you're just kind of like, oh, can they like even up the set record, It's like that's like kind of the narrative you have to string. But when you have a qualification for an invitational tournament, it's like screaming out to you, talk about it. Like you don't get that opportunity to talk about something that important at most tournaments. It was just crazy to me, and I'm still mad about it.
Yeah. But, as someone who's been watching the Connecticut and New England scene for quite a long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's gotta be quite frustrating to not really see those storylines like being told. They're kind of just, doing their job mostly, just talking about the gameplay and whatsoever.
Don't get me wrong, in a fantastic way. They're doing that part really fucking well. But like from my point of view, like I just wanted to know. I just wanted more people to talk about it.
Because it's like you got the game players who like, oh yeah, I'm really enjoying this gameplay, and then you have the people who like are super invested in the scene, like want to care about like the gameplay or the storylines on top of the gameplay, which enhances it. And for people like us, like shout out to my boy Soup Dude. Who I commentated with at Land King. We were both, it's our first time casting together. We were both talking about how we love story narratives. We love like building it up and talking about on commentary, like the history and everything. And that's so important for setting up the parameters of a set, because it's like you want to be like as honest as you can, like as real as you can for your personality, like not really want to like create a fake narrative that you kind of have to play into or like for yourself. Just just keeping it real, just be real. Like there's a lot of storylines locally that need to have light shed on them because
Mm-hmm.
they're just so interesting. There's beef between players sometimes,
And
or
those don't happen often. And
they don't really happen often.
that's why it's like when it does happen, really need to take advantage of that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that segues into my next topic, which is like, why do I run on hate?
Why do you run on hate?
Why do
I
I run
used
on
to be a
hate?
hater.
I'm such a hater. It's crazy. Like I didn't know that I was a hater. Like every once in a while, I get reminded that I'm a hater when like
You
stuff
are a
like this
hater.
when stuff like this happens,
Actually,
and I'm like
I think we're all haters.
we're
I think
all
we're all haters.
we're all haters.
Is Gert a hater?
Is Gert a hater?
You, me,
I don't
and
know.
Yin are haters.
Ritual definitely isn't a hater. She's a lover.
Nah. She's definitely a lover.
She's a lover.
I'm a fucking hater, bro. Like, I'll be like, why'd you do? I remember on
Yeah.
the Metro Ramen stream, someone kept on doing Thoron setups, and I'm like, why are you using Thoron? You literally have fucking Arc Fire back here. You could convert or go for like a shield poke with L Thunder
Yeah.
or Arc Thunder, L Thunder. Like, what the hell are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
so sad because Robin was mad nice, but go on.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know, but it's just funny that like I run on hate, and that I've never been more motivated to like commentate and to just get better to improve, because of that. And it's funny that I was watching The Yard literally yesterday. They had their friend Dia on, who's a comic, and they were talking about how like most people who get into comedy are like people who just hated somebody who did well, or like somebody who like they didn't think was funny and just thought they could do it better than them, which is crazy. So my question to you is, do you have to be a hater to be a good commentator?
That is the question of the day, and the answer for me is yes.
Yes.
I was a hater, and then it's okay. Well, I started like being a hater, like I'm the fucking goat. I'm so much better than all these other commentators. But then like when I first started doing it and working with actual commentators, people who really cared about their trade and what they did, like I did it locally at my local, whatever, nobody there. It was only me. And then I went to tournaments like I think Encore. I really enjoyed it. There was people, they were just players, but they also casually enjoyed commentating. Um, I got exposed to a lot of different styles. It wasn't until like Bears where I'm like, holy shit, I got a little bit starstruck because there's just absolute goats on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
And I commentated with Stu the announcer. I think you know him, right?
Yes, he's dope. I was
so
first
impressed.
I was
Mm-hmm.
first put on the radar of him when he did Collision. He did the opening last year, so 2022. Like he was the MC, and he like did this walk in. It was so sick. I was like, this guy's crazy, and that's why I found out he does that for like a living. Like that's like he does that for like college sports too, which is sick. So Stu's like, he's deep cut. Like not a lot of people know about him, but he is like talented, man. He's so talented.
Yeah, I love his voice and his energy and like what he has to bring to the table every single time for a lot of these top eights. I'm like, if I don't hear that voice on the stream, I'm like, damn. Like, when I just want to, but Flambo also is a pretty damn good host and like a pretty good announcer as well.
Yeah, I mean, like they're in a completely different way too. Sorry, I'm
Yes.
getting a home phone call, so
Home phone call.
you guys are gonna have to bear with,
Mid-pod.
you're gonna have to bear with me, guys. But yeah, in a completely different way. I feel like Flambo does things so differently. Like, whereas like Stu just brings the energy. Like that's just his thing, you know.
It was, so like Stu's the energy and Flambo is the vibes. You would say perhaps.
Flambo has the vibes. The vibes are on when he's doing that announcing.
Now, I feel like what was the topic we were talking about before? Being a hater and like getting into commentary. Because
Yeah.
I wanted to go to like another point of like we need announcers at like big tournaments.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like Stu should get every single emceeing job ever. Like, he's just a. I feel like he's just the only commentator in the scene who is like actually like insane at emceeing.
You
Like
know what?
who's
Me
actually
personally,
because
I want to do it.
no, because I feel like let's be real. Most of the people who MC the event, they don't practice that. They just have like they have commentary. They know how to bring the hype because they commentate, but it's not like they practice that and that's something that they do a lot. It's just kind of like, oh, just have somebody good MC, you know? But
Hmm.
Stu is actually somebody who MCs like college sports and Smash, and he's really freaking good at it, you know?
Yes.
So if there is like, I feel like if anybody else who was just willing to travel and like actually like marketed themselves as an MC and was like, hey, like hire me for your event, I will crush it. I feel like they would actually rise up so quickly.
Yeah, I know. Like right now with my commentary, like I still want to do my same thing, but I want to like build my hosting skills and like my MC skills up because like I want to be in that spot to just like bring in the hype, bring in the action. Like I can even like weave the storylines into the announce and everything like that, which is
Yeah,
pretty damn cool.
I,
Because I have that knowledge as like a caster and like I study for these events. I study so much and I cast a lot at the
your
locals.
camera just
Oh, yo, my
oh
camera is
it's
fire.
it's fine on yours on my on okay. I guess my connection is just bad. Very cool. Very cool. My Wi-Fi. Very. I just moved my setup by the way. I don't know if
I realize
I don't know if the
yeah.
people at home can notice, but I'm in a new spot in my room, and that might be affecting things. So, um, but seems like you're back. Um, yeah. We were talking about MCing. Yeah, I feel like the the traditional theory for MCing at events is like just put somebody who people know, and
Yeah.
people won't hate on them because they know them.
And you know who I would love to see MC interesting?
Who?
Momo on the motherfucking mic.
Yeah, you think Momo can do it
I think Momo will be absolutely incredible on the mic
on the
and
mic?
MCing. Yes,
On the
on the
microphone.
mic on the microphone. Mo
Interesting.
Moon on the microphone at events. He just has like that energy, and everybody. He is in that vein of like everybody knows him as well,
Mm-hmm.
but he knows how to like bring the crowd's energy to just like have a good time, get hype for things, and he has that voice.
So
I know he
okay.
got it in him.
So my question to you is like, let's say I want to practice my emceeing skills. Okay. Do I just like grab like a glass of water, like hold it up to my face, and just do it in my room and be like, introducing the two competitors for winners semifinals? You know, do I do that?
Do
Or
you want the actual answer or do you want the short form
no,
answer?
no. What I was trying to allude to is that
Wait, wait, wait.
should more
Wait,
big
you're
regional
kind of cutting
tournaments
out, or
have
Discord's messing up.
MCs? Discord's messing up. No.
Oh my
Can you hear
god.
me?
Okay, we're chilling.
We're chilling. Do we have to
All
time
right.
skip?
Nah, say it again.
Alright. So what I was saying, what I was trying to allude to was that what what I'm saying is that like your only option is probably to just practice it in your room by yourself. Um, but like what I was saying is like should more big regional tournaments have an MC? Should they try to have that? Because I don't know like
Yes.
if
The answer is yes.
like
Please.
do you think that like that would like improve the stream quality or like because like
Yes.
it's mostly for the crowd, let's be real, to get them hype, and like at most regionals people are leaving like before top 8, they want to get home. So
It's like at that same vein, you have to give them a reason to care though. Like a reason to
yeah,
like want to be there.
yeah, want
I'm
to
s-
stay.
I'm somebody who uses everything around me as they can as like to gain energy to just tie into whatever I'm casting. It's just like in the same vein of like talk good forehead.
Yeah, talk good, talk good.
Yeah, like I'm using the crowd's energy. I'm like building the picture in the minds of the viewer, and like I'm trying to get them all hyped up and everything. And I don't even care if anyone responds. I'm still like, giving it my all. I'm putting my best foot forward.
Yeah, for sure. um But
And
yeah,
I know there's passionate teens out
I
there who
I
really want that shit.
I think it would be really sick if regional tournaments had MCs, just so like more people could practice. Maybe give more opportunities to people to try that. I just don't know
Hmm.
if that's like logistically feasible for most tournaments.
It
You know?
depends on like the tech and gear they
Yeah.
have on hand to
Like
accomplish that.
CT GamerCon could have very well done it. Like they had a microphone. Like I remember like Jamie walked out and he was like, "By the way,
Hmm.
don't leave the venue or they won't let you back in." And they just had like a they just had a
I
mic
was like
they just had a
debating
mic.
on like asking if I can like MC or like just take it, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I
but
feel
like next I feel like CT GamerCon, Connecticut's biggest tournament every year. I like would not be I would not be like opposed to them trying MCing, but like for a monthly tournament at like a game shop, like
yeah,
probably
no.
not the best option, you know.
Nah, it depends on the vibes.
So like maybe we could pitch that to Gerd and to House
Yeah. I
MCing.
would definitely like pitch myself professionally. Like at Eon, I just did it for like the grand finals. I like MC'd quote unquote for like the grand finals.
Uh huh.
It was pretty great. You can hear the crowd like cheering in the background of the camera. Unfortunately, we didn't have like a crowd mic. I think a crowd mic. That's what they usually have, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have a crowd mic, but you could hear it a little bit through the headset, and it was pretty great.
Yeah.
I'm putting that in my reel when I get the first chance.
When you get
That shit was
the
fire.
very first chance, as soon as the
Hmm.
VOD drop, you're like,
Well, I have that shit, but I just gotta get it all together since I have like new stuff. I'm trying to like work my reel into like a professional profile, kind of like Ajax,
I
to
am
pass the Flambo test, if you
to
will.
pass the Flambo test.
Yeah, to
You
pass the Flambo
You
test.
passed the Flambo test. You're great. You're great. You're fine.
My first reel didn't. My first reel got destroyed.
That's crazy. No. Yeah, we can talk about reels. I feel like we've talked about this a
Hold
lot
on. What?
on the
Wait a
podcast.
minute.
But I've actually been thinking about this a lot because I don't like reels.
Hold on. What I'm getting from you is like, are you in your trying arc?
I'm in my trying arc.
Are you taking off the training weights?
So I was in my narcissist era before. Remember where
You're
I was
in your
just
ego era.
so remember when I was in my narcissist era where I was the
Hmm.
best to ever do it, but I wasn't going to tournaments. I was just kind of like I'm the best to ever do
Yeah.
it, just like kind of confident but arrogant at the same time. Now then I was in my I don't really give a shit era, like where it's like whatever. I'm just gonna do my locals when I can, but I like, can't go to anything, and this is sad.
Yeah.
Now I'm in my oh my god, I think I can actually be good at this era, and maybe I should give
Ooh.
it a genuine shot. But
Your try hard.
my
Your ego arc. Not it's not try hard. It's just
no,
your ego era.
no, my ego era was false ego. It was I'm trying to ego death right now, but I definitely like confident. Maybe my confident era is the way to put it.
I feel like I give myself like an ego death every now and then,
I
like
have
when
to
I
like
really need it.
I have to remind myself that I have things to learn sometimes. Like there was one point
Yeah.
where I had like I don't know if I talked to you guys about this before where I thought I had solved life. I was like I've solved life. I don't need to learn anything anymore. You just learn from your mistakes, you move on. And then like 3 or 4 months later I realized I had become like ego like kind of egotistical and arrogant about like learning and
Yeah.
stuff, and I was like, oh, I have more things to learn. Oh no.
I think I'm like low key egotistical in a very interesting way, cause I haven't really asked for advice in a really long time from a lot of commentators or like co-commentators, because for me my process is like working with myself, since that's what I know, and I use a bunch of like self-reflection and self-analysis to figure out the parts of my commentary of like what is wrong, what is bad, which like what am I doing right. And it felt like it all just blended together to me, where it's like I just understand the craft very well. I understand the arts, especially like commentating in the vein of Smash. And then like once you get out into the other ones, that we can talk about other stuff. That we mix it up.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. um Yeah, but I was trying to say something before and I can't remember. Oh, my reel. So
Yes.
I hate reels. I'm just gonna be completely honest.
You're,
I think they're so stupid. I think
they are kind of stupid.
I think building towards your reel is like it's just weird the way that certain people like they treat it almost as I like to the point where it's like somebody has a good performance and they're like, "Oh, I can't wait to put that part on my reel." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"What? Is that like is your goal to have a good reel? Is your goal to have good commentary? Like I don't get
You
it."
know, it's funny. I think you can look at this like this way. Like commentary reels are
Yeah.
just fucking combo videos for commentators.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's
literally
just
what they are.
but it's just I don't know. I've just never had that thought like after a session where I was just like, "Ooh, that ended game 3. Ooh, I'm gonna so put that on my reel." You know, like I don't know
Nah.
like if I've ever had that thought. Like watching back, I'm like, "Oh, that's like a really interesting thing I want to put on my reel." But
You might
like,
have that like now since you're in your ego
yeah,
era.
no, I don't think I will.
Yeah.
Unless maybe I've just never done anything impressive in my life.
Yeah. I think it's cause like at the beginning I was like trying slash fiending for the clips, but then over time while I just like cared more about like my consistency,
Uh-huh.
it's like I will go back and like remember this moment that happened since I have a good memory.
Mhm.
So in the back of my mind I'll be like, okay, go back later and clip that.
Yeah.
And cause
No, I have to. I literally black out. I like, legit have to watch the whole thing over
yeah.
again, and then be like, "Oh, I said that. Yeah, that was cool." And then like put, and I have like a doc of just all like clips of stuff that I might want to use for my reel.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to move on from my reel, but that's hard because nobody knows who I am, so they don't know
Mhm.
what my face looks like.
It's right
So
there.
like
In the little thing.
I'm it's just like hard because
Right
like
here.
yeah,
Trying to move it to the
trying to get the perspective like that.
yeah, but my finger like goes, beyond the blue.
Too high. Um, but like the hard part is like stuff that people find important on reels are like intros, outros, ad reads, stuff like that. So like I don't know, I'm just like so conflicted cuz like I kind of wanted to try something that was like um so I do Smash Ultimate and Melee. Just pick one set, my favorite set, the one that I think I did the best, and just be like, hey, this I don't have a reel, but this is the best set that I've done, and just have like a why I don't have a reel, why I hate reels, and why I think they're like bad, or like
I
why I
mean,
think
you can do that a
why
lot of
it's
the
not
time.
like no, but uh, can, can I finish? I just want to say why
Yeah, you could,
I
you could.
don't want to do that, but I also don't want to have a reel, so I'm conflicted. Um, so I think I would have like a why I don't have a reel. You know, I think reels only cherry pick. You know, I wanna show more of my game, my flaws, my weak points. I wanna give you a better idea of like what you're actually going to get by showing like a set that I'm proud of, in its full. But at the same time, I'm not going to get my intros, my outros, my ad reads in there. So like maybe I like I can do two. I could be like, here's who I am. Like a PowerPoint. I don't know. Like a PowerPoint presentation that's like here. This is who I am. This is what I look like. Here's my intros,
PowerPoint presentation.
intros,
Someone will
outros,
definitely find it real funny.
and ad reads. And then the next slide is like, oh, here's the set that I commentated that I really liked. But like they have time. They have time constraints. And I feel like if I do all this extra stuff, no one's gonna want to watch all that. No one's gonna want to read all that and do all that.
Yeah,
So
if it's too much effort, they're just gonna be like, "Oh, look at block XXX detail. Maybe look at the first minute. All right, move on to the next one."
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just like I don't know. I'm very conflicted, um, with like that because I don't feel like if there's nothing on the line for the two players, I'm a terrible commentator. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're just
I don't
like,
know jack squat about the game. I'm just kind of like talking about what my other commentators talking about. But like, if there's like, if there's like really good storylines, I like talking about them really good. And
you just have to be the color.
Yeah. So I've just been conflicted about this recently. I feel like a reel is like the best way to do it and the traditional way to do it, but I feel like I will never be able to perfectly in a reel explain my strengths and my flaws, which is just annoying because it's
Yeah,
like,
cause so in the vein of like Smash Ultimate, basically you just have to like work on your play-by-play and like
mhm.
flavor it, and then like just work on like analytical transitions for the other person, who knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's kind of how I am right now. It's fine. It's kind of funny because I feel like my biggest strength as a commentator isn't even like my game knowledge or like my play-by-play. It's literally the fact that I can just work with literally anyone, like,
Mm-hmm.
and be a completely different style of commentary with two different people.
That is
Um,
literally the biggest like thing that you can have in commentary. It's so good. Not that many people have it, even at like the top level.
like if you watch my Encore 200 block with Ritual, it's completely different than my Encore 200 block with Molto. And it's just weird that, like, when I'm commentating with Ritual, a lot of the stuff that I want to talk about, I feel like I don't really get to talk about. And it's not because she's, like, forcing me to talk about something else. It's just, like, the way the conversation flows. But when I was
Yeah.
talking with Malto, I feel like a lot of the quips that I usually get out are, like, the,
Mm-hmm.
the lighthearted, stuff. Like, I feel like they came out in more abundances. And I just thought that was weird. I'm like, I don't know, like, how to interpret that. Like, is that, should I not commentate with Ritual because I'm not expressing myself perfectly? Or is it just I need to find a way to work through that and to express myself more? I don't know. I just thought it was really weird that that happened. Um,
It's pretty interesting. Like that way, it's like you're getting the sense of like, oh my god, this commentator wants to achieve like XX thing in their commentary, and this is how they commentate. But then like you pair up with somebody who like goes completely with your flow, so you're like vibing together, and then like you got to say the shit that you normally would, or like the quips, right?
hmm It's weird. I don't know. It's just weird that of all people, Ritual, I just felt like, dang, I didn't get to like say anything I wanted to say because it's weird
Yeah.
because we came up together and that it hasn't always felt that way. So it's just weird.
Well, is a little weird. Like with me, like I have like different kinds of like styles. I would just commentate with like other people,
hmm
but I would still like to like find that groove and then like tack my own style in the way I want it. But sometimes it comes out a little awkward depending on who it is. Like with Henry Ubel, I just like just talking about the game with him. I like having that like analytical discussion while still doing, the good old play-by-play color routine. With
hmm
Molto, we'll just like kind of shoot the shit kind of dealio play-by-play. Like I'll give an analytical piece and I'll be like, yeah, bro, that's so sick.
Yeah. That's funny.
It will just be just be hype.
That's funny. Yeah. Um. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Well,
I've kind of just like poured my feelings out on commentary throughout
yeah, you're
today.
just like
I'm just
you're
like,
feeling a certain kind of way now.
is there anything that you have like thought about recently that you want to talk about? Share to the
I
people.
I don't know. I feel like my perceptions of like everything that I once knew about commentary is like changing for the better.
Mhm.
Just like working up to be like more professional, how to be myself,
Mhm.
how to view certain things. I believe, like you mentioned, the commentary reel. Um, my view on that has like not changed, but I've had more of an understanding of like what it is. Instead of just making it like a glorified commentator combo video highlight reel, it's more of like a professional portfolio and a portfolio of my personality and
Mhm.
my skill
Yeah.
set.
It's like a
Cause
video resume.
yes, it's a video resume. That's what I want to establish, like from the get go. It's like you are getting this, this, and this. I can do this, this, and this for you, and I have the ability to cast X game. Well, I'm working on the multi game reel. It's a heavy work in progress. I don't know how I should go about that. Like if I should have like just two reels for just Smash and like one for multi games, including the Smash. I don't know. I would have
Yeah.
to ask somebody about that. Maybe Skip or Ajax
I feel
or
like
Flambeau.
if they are adjacent, like all platform fighters should be in the same thing. But like if you have so many different fighting games that you commentate,
No,
maybe
it's gonna be a lot.
yeah, maybe fighting games should have their own thing. Maybe like mention it like on your
Hmm.
reel. Like I also work in fighting games. Um I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
don't
be
know
like Type
exactly.
Lumina. It's gonna be
Yeah.
like fucking Street Fighter 6. It's gonna be fucking Call of Duty, perhaps.
Yeah. But I feel like I don't want to put any of my speedrunning stuff like in my Smash Ultimate commentary reel, but like Melee is like close enough that I'll also put that. But I fucking suck at commentating Melee. That game is so hard to commentate.
It really is. They were. Oh my god. Well, we can do this.
The hard
section.
well
We
the
have time.
I mean the hard part is just like if you don't have somebody to talk next to you, it's like you end up just kind of doing play by play, and play by play is literally like in Melee is so fast that you just don't
Yes.
understand what's going on.
It's you gotta do it like the Call of Duty commentators, because they are strictly play by play. Well, not strictly play by play, but like there's a lot of play by play in color with FPS commentary.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what I try to do is like just talk about things that I like from players that I see, and it's just like there's just a lot of dead air, and like I've never like had like an official like block with somebody in Melee. It's just kind of like whoever like hops on, so it's like very different, and I feel like it's much harder, like because like now I've gotten pretty accustomed in Ultimate to just like having somebody who knows what they're doing and like very well, and like has a style
You
that I
gotta
can
take
just
the reins.
that I could just work with, and it's just much easier to work with. But like when I'm doing Melee, I feel like I barely know anything about this game. I know a lot of history. I don't know a lot of gameplay oriented stuff.
I thought you played the game though. What the heck?
I don't. It's a very deep game, and I just don't get to play enough. Like sometimes I'll see an interaction, I'm like, ooh, what was that? Like, that was cool, but like I don't know
You're
what happened there.
fake.
Am
You're
I
just
fake?
a spectator.
I am.
Nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that. I am also a Melee spectator because I think it's really fucking cool watching that game.
This game's
And
so
it's like
sick.
I will learn about shit from that game, but I feel
mean-
like the Melee knowledge I've amassed has like faded away from my brain.
It's
as of
just
late.
it's just too much.
Yeah, and the meta constantly changes, and I really want like to stay on top of these things, but there's always some new counterplay coming up.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. But
I
yeah,
also do not have that sense as well, like with the Melee gameplay sense and like seeing like or recognizing like SDI situations.
yeah, yeah. Defensive options are so like crucial. Like, it's crazy. I don't know. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
You don't want to talk about it? This is why we're going to Ultimate vs Melee.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you did post that video in the chat about the tipped off?
tipped
I think.
off.
Yeah, tipped off George's commentary.
Uh-huh.
I watched it and I was like, George just kind of stuck to it, like as someone like kind of like what we were saying earlier, like I don't see this person doing like X and X and highlighting like this detail or this storyline, so I really want to get into commentating and do it that way, which is exactly what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'm getting hired for events, and it's like, people who keep on hiring me like what I do, so sorry guys.
Yeah, I remember like a year ago on the Melee Stats podcast. I remember they were talking about they had Jorge and they had Junebug on, they're like statics basically, and Jorge was talking about how he wouldn't do commentary if he didn't think that he had something to add that other people weren't talking about, which is again something that I talked about way earlier in the podcast, which is something that I do that. That's me.
That's me. Oh my
That's
god,
me.
he's just like me for real,
He's just like, and this guy's getting like top 8s of majors. Like, he's really
Yes.
good. So maybe I'm doing something right. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't know. But I did like the fact that he was like, I'm a TO first. I'm like, ooh, I'm not a TO first though. That's concerning for me. I don't add anything to this community.
Just a TO. Just a TO.
I just
That's
show
all.
I just show up. I steal money from the people who hire me, and then I leave.
Oh my god, that would have been a nice ass conversation to have with the group. But as you can see,
No one shows up.
yes, nobody shows up.
Especially
poverty
Ritual.
discussion.
Especially Ritual, who's just deciding I want to be a big shot commentator and go all the way to Virginia to commentate a regional.
You're
Boo!
spitting.
Ew!
I mean-
Ew.
Ritual.
And
the finest
Gerd.
Finesser.
Gerd, I don't want to do it today, Gerd. Ugh.
I gotta eat lunch.
Ugh.
I gotta eat lunch. I can't be part of the
That is
podcast.
crazy
I
that he
gotta
said
go to
that.
Chipotle.
We're
Gotta
putting-
get my rice bowl.
We're putting Gerd on blast right now. That's crazy. But yeah, this is like we're at like almost 50 minutes. I don't know if you have anything else you want to add.
We can like stretch it out a little bit more.
We can stretch it out a little bit more. I was kind of hoping to end, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
You
kind
gotta
of.
go to work.
I also haven't eaten lunch.
I'm trying to think. Last comments I would have.
I mean, do you have-
like we could just finish out the roast session. I mean, like,
Gerd, fuck your lunch, okay? You're gonna
Fuck
be
your lunch,
You're
Gerd.
gonna be starving little peasant boy who gets on our podcast, okay? Next time, I hope you're watching this.
oh my god. Yeah, and then Ritual who just keeps on dodging big shot commentators.
Stop getting gigs. Stop being good at the game. Okay?
They're just a hustler.
Stop being
She's
a
just
good
hustler, I'm
commentator.
sorry.
This is bullshit. We're trying to get a schedule going on here. I don't like
There's no
this.
such thing as a schedule.
All right.
It's like we can't even switch it up. It's like sometimes I am at fault,
Yeah.
and like I think that's like seldomly now. I think
Uh-huh.
I'm a consistent goer now. I would like to say
It is crazy that I'm the only one who hasn't missed an episode. Just saying.
that is true.
Just
That is
saying.
very, very true.
But yeah, enough with the roast session. I think that's been it for us on Casters on the Block. I spoke very candidly about how I feel about commentary. So if
Well, actually, we can we did. I don't think we threw enough strays at Ritual.
no, we threw enough.
If anything, we gassed her. We gassed her up.
We gassed her up. Yeah, that's the point.
Damn, just say
She
fake
has a
New
good-
England caster, just a
She-
tri-state caster.
That is true.
by the
She is
way.
a tri-state caster.
Yeah,
but
she's
like
just a tri-state
she
caster.
she had a good reason for not being here. Gerd just like didn't.
Yeah,
If I'm
we
being
usually have
honest.
good reasons.
Yeah.
Like, the times that I'm not here, I'm just straight up like sick,
Yeah.
or just like I have a gig that I need to travel to like
Yeah.
crazy away. But I still manage to do it. If I have like homecoming or like whatever, and it's like not until like the next Saturday, then I'll be here.
Yeah. But yeah, this has been Casters on the Block. If you liked the way I candidly spoke about commentary, leave a comment down below.
Actually, this was the best episode. I
This
think
the
this has
best
probably
episode?
been one of the best episodes we've ever done.
Really?
I cannot hold.
All right. Well, let us know if this is the best the best episode we've ever had. I'll probably post that clip on Twitter, seeing you saying, "I think this is the best." The best episode we've ever had. At
The best
Gerd,
episode
at
is just
Gerd-
fucking
at
two
Gerd and
empty rectangles.
at Gerd and Ritual, and just be like, "Yo, the best episode we ever had. You weren't on it. That's crazy."
And it's
Tune
just
in-
fucking
and then
two
just
of us.
and then just later, just like link it in below. Just be like, "Our best ever episode." That's the title. That's the
Yes,
title.
the
of the
best episode.
All
We
right.
didn't even get political. We didn't
We-
even talk about the politicalness of meter management. Whatever. It's end the episode.
No, we shouldn't talk about it. We shouldn't talk about it. There's a time and
not-
place
it's
to
not
talk
our-
about that.
It's not our.
I would like
time.
to privately talk to Gerd about my feelings before I talk to the public about it personally.
Yeah, we will get political soon. Asterisk question
Soon.
mark.
Soon, TM.
Soon TM.
All right, Casters on the Block. Tune in next week where hopefully there are actual people here. Goodbye.
Frick. See you guys. Follow me on Syndicate Cyber. You can follow Wolfman on the Twitter.
I don't really care.
Give me my clout, my free clout.
Give Snivey's clout, not me. Unfollow me if you follow me.
Take care, everybody. See
Bye.
ya.